The tent stake was halfway into the ground when I heard the screaming. Stop! Stop right now! I looked up to see a woman sprinting toward me like I was committing murder. Designer sunglasses. Perfect hair. That walk that says, I've never heard the word no in my entire life. Behind her, 2 more women hurried to keep up. Phones already out and recording. This was going to be interesting. Can I help you? I asked, standing up slowly and gripping my hammer a little tighter, just in case. Help me? Help me? The woman stopped 3 feet away, breathing hard, her face already turning an impressive shade of red. You're trespassing on HOA property. This land belongs to Riverside Hills Homeowners Association. I'd done my homework. Spent 2 weeks researching this exact spot. County records, property lines, zoning maps, everything. Actually, I said, pulling out my phone, according to the county assessor, this is public land, unincorporated, open for camping. Her eyes narrowed into slits. I'm Rebecca Whitmore, HOA President, and I'm telling you, this is our land. We have an agreement with the county, a legal agreement. Great, I said. Show me. Her mouth dropped open. The 2 women behind her gasped like I just slapped their grandmother. Excuse me? Rebecca's voice could have cut glass. Show me the agreement. If this land belongs to your HOA, you'll have documentation, right? Property deed? Easement contract? Anything. Rebecca's face went from red to purple. I don't have to show you anything. Do you know who I am? Do you know how much influence I have in this community? Don't know, don't care, I said, turning back to my tent. I'm camping here this weekend. If you've got a legal issue, call the sheriff. I'll wait. The sound she made was somewhere between a shriek and a growl. You'll regret this. I'll make your life hell. She stormed off, her entourage scrambling behind her, all 3 of them already on their phones. I could hear Rebecca's voice echoing across the trees. Yes, sheriff's office? I need to report a dangerous trespasser. I smiled and hammered in another stake. This was just the beginning. 6 a.m. Saturday morning. I woke up to the sound of a chainsaw. I scrambled out of my tent to find a work crew, 5 guys in orange vests, cutting down trees at the edge of the clearing. Not on my campsite, but close enough to shower me with sawdust and make sleep impossible. Hey! I shouted over the noise. What's going on? The foreman walked over, looking apologetic. Sorry, man. HOA emergency tree removal. We got called out at 5 a.m. Apparently, there are dangerous dead trees that need immediate removal. I looked at the trees they were cutting. Healthy, green, not even a broken branch. Let me guess, I said. Rebecca Whitmore called this in? The foreman's expression told me everything. Look, we're just doing our job. We get paid either way, but, yeah, this seems excessive. They work for 3 hours. The Chainsaw Symphony was Rebecca's personal wake-up call, delivered with a smile. 2 hours after they left, a sheriff's deputy arrived. You Marcus Rivera? He asked, stepping out his patrol car. That's me. Got a complaint about illegal camping. Need to check your permit situation. He walked around my site, examining everything with the weary expression of someone who'd done this before. Finally, he pulled out his phone, checked something, and shook his head. You're good. This is county land. Camping's legal. You're following all the rules. Contain fire. Proper distance from the creek. No violations. Let me guess, I said. Rebecca Whitmore filed a complaint? The deputy actually laughed. How'd you know? She's called us 4 times since yesterday. We're about to start charging her for false reports. He handed me his card. She gives you any more trouble, call me directly. Between you and me, we're getting real tired of her nonsense. Rebecca didn't stop. She escalated. Over the next 2 months, I came back every weekend. Each time, Rebecca had a new strategy. She filed noise complaints claiming I was hosting loud parties when I was reading alone by my campfire. She reported my truck as abandoned even though I was sitting in it. She tried to have the Forest Service declare the area a fire hazard zone to ban camping. That backfired when they inspected and found her own community was the actual fire risk due to overgrown landscaping. My favorite was when she hired a surveyor to prove the property lines were wrong. The surveyor took one look at the official county maps and told her she was wasting her money. She fired him on the spot and left him unpaid. He called me later to share the whole story over beers. But Rebecca's biggest mistake came in August. I was sitting by my campfire one evening when I decided to dig deeper into the land records. The property I'd been camping on, a beautiful 20-acre parcel with creek access and mountain views, was owned by something called Summit Property Holdings, LLC. Curious, I started digging. The company had purchased the land 18 years ago with plans for a housing development. Those plans died in the 2008 recession. Since then, nothing. They'd been paying property taxes, but otherwise ignoring it. I found the owner's contact information and sent an email on a whim. Would you consider selling? The response came in 40 minutes. How much are you offering? 3 weeks later, I had a signed purchase agreement. 1 week after that, closing was complete. 20 acres of pristine Colorado wilderness, mine for a price that was steep but manageable. I'd been saving for years, living in a tiny apartment, driving an old truck, investing every spare dollar. This was what I'd been saving for. I just hadn't known it yet. Rebecca found out when the construction trucks arrived. What is this? She appeared like a fury, marching across the clearing toward me and my contractor. What are you doing? Building, I said, not looking up from the blueprint spread across my truck bed. Building what? You can't build here. This isn't. She stopped, her face going pale. This isn't you, didn't. Buy the land? I looked up, meeting her eyes. Yeah, I did. All 20 acres. And I'm building a ranch. The color drained from her face, then rushed back twice as intense. A ranch? With animals? Horses, definitely. Maybe chickens. Thinking about goats, too. I've got county approval for a barn, stables, riding arena, and a ranch house. Everything zoned agricultural. Completely legal. No. Rebecca actually stomped her foot. No. You can't. The smell, the noise. This will destroy our property values. I'll SU you. I'll get an injunction. I'll do whatever you want, I said calmly. But here's the thing, Rebecca. I own this land. Not you, not your HOA. Me. And agricultural use is permitted. I've checked every regulation, every code, every ordinance. I'm completely within my rights. I'll stop you, she screamed. I'll make sure you never. Good luck, I said, turning back to my contractor. Oh, and Rebecca, one more thing. See that property line marker right there? I pointed to the surveyor's stake. That's where your HOA's jurisdiction ends, which means every single day for the rest of your life, you're going to look out your back window and see my ranch, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. She stood there shaking, unable to speak, before finally turning and practically running back toward Riverside Hills. My contractor, a guy named Tom who'd been in the business for 30 years, whistled low. Man, you really piss her off. Yeah, I said, grinning. Yeah, I did. Rebecca tried everything to stop construction. She filed 14 separate complaints with the county, all rejected. She organized a protest that attracted exactly 3 people, including herself. She attempted to bribe a county inspector, who reported her immediately. She even tried to convince the other HOA members to pool money for a lawsuit, but her own board voted it down after their lawyer explained they'd lose and end up paying my legal fees. 4 months later, Rivera Ranch opened for business. The grand opening party was legendary. 50 people showed up, neighbors, friends, the sheriff's deputies who dealt with Rebecca's complaints, even the surveyor she'd stiffed. We had barbecue, trail rides, and live music. Rebecca stood at her property line the entire time, arms crossed, glaring. My friend Carlos rode up beside me, laughing. Think she'll ever give up? Probably not, I said, watching Rebecca storm back into her house. But I've got 20 acres, 8 horses, and the best view in Colorado, all because she couldn't leave me alone. Karma's beautiful, Carlos said. Yes, I agreed. Yes, it is. Today, Rivera Ranch is thriving. We offer trail rides, riding lessons, and summer camps for kids. The local news featured us as a community gem. People from Riverside Hills, not Rebecca, quietly book lessons for their children. Rebecca still glares from her yard every morning. Her latest crusade is trying to get the county to ban agricultural odors. They laughed at her. Sometimes I wave. She never waves back. But every time I ride past her property line, I smile, because she taught me something valuable. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's buying the land and building something beautiful out of spite.